Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
It's good to have you on board. Monday Night Football kicking off in just over 2 hours from right now. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Right now we head out to the Progressive Guest Line. More on this big game between the Ravens and the Lions as Glenn Clark joins the program now. Longtime friend of the show. He is on the Progressive Guest Line. You can follow him on X at Glenn Clark Radio with PressBox Online. Good morning, Glenn. Good afternoon, Glenn. Thanks for the time. How are you today?
It's great to see you guys, Mitch, Pauly. Appreciate you. It was great to actually be out there and see you in person this summer. Have always enjoyed coming on with you fellas.
Love talking to you. This number now moving up today, as is the total. Ravens 4.5 at most spots. I'm seeing some 5s out there as well. The total is 54 here at Circa and other spots. What do you make of those numbers?
I make of those numbers that the injuries to Nnamdi Madubuike and Kyle Van Noy are probably more impactful than the average person realizes. I pulled these from ESPN for you guys. This is pass rush win rate. The Ravens came into this week 32% on the season, 24th in the NFL. Run stop win rate, 25%, 28th in the NFL. And that was with their best edge rusher, Kyle Van Noy, and their second best edge rusher and best run stopper, Nnamdi Madubuike. I don't think people realize quite how much these two injuries are going to hurt the Ravens up front. Roquan Smith looked great last week against the Browns, but it was the Browns. They are not deep up front. They are not as deep as they were. Michael Pierce retired in the offseason. They're going to call up Brent Urban from the practice squad for tonight. They're going to need a lot from from rookies, from Mike Green, their second-round pick, Fub Peebles, defensive lineman, who was a late-round pick. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored tonight. I think they're in a little bit of trouble with those two guys. But the good news for the Ravens is Lamar Jackson still exists.
Yes, and the numbers are ridiculous, and you're well aware of them. That 24-2 against the NFC, Harbaugh in prime time at home, Lamar at prime time at home, blowing teams out in this spot the last couple of years. The numbers are staggering in this spot.
Yeah, they did 10-1, Lamar Jackson in primetime at home, and the one was in 2020 when nobody was in the stadium. I mean, he is money. And look, some of that is Lamar Jackson's really good no matter what. We have tried to make sense of the Lamar Jackson versus the NFC thing for years. Half of it is Lamar Jackson's really good against everybody. And so, of course, he'd be really good against the NFC. Now, the theory that these teams don't see him as frequently, and so that impacts more, maybe there's something to it. I put that to a lot of people whose opinions I respect. They think maybe, but nobody can actually fully define it. For what it's worth, he did lose the last game he played against an NFC team. That was the Eagles late last season. But he has been dominant against the NFC. He's dominated at home in prime time. There tends to be an absolutely raucous environment in Baltimore for these games. They're wearing their all-black uniforms tonight. They tend to be quite bankable. It would be hard for me to imagine betting against the Ravens in a home primetime game. And also keep in mind the last time the Ravens faced the Lions, it was when everybody was riding high on the Lions 2 years ago, and the Ravens beat them 38-6 at home. So I don't think it's going to be that. I do have questions about them defensively without those two guys up front, but I do think the Ravens are probably going to keep scoring points at will. They just put up 40 against the Browns, who have unquestionably the best defense in the NFL. And truth be told, guys, I thought did the best job I've ever seen a team do against the combination of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. And again, the Ravens still scored 40 points.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Think about that. 40-plus points and only like 240 yards or so. So if you're expecting fireworks here from both sides tonight, how creative do you want to get with some of the props, right? Because if we, in some of these games that we get on primetime, Glenn, that with a high total of 54, and if they end up going over, eventually you see the tickets come out where like the anytime, the same game parlays of like, my God, this guy scored 2 touchdowns and this guy scored another touchdown. So how overall, like, how do you want to attack it?
I'm telling you, there's almost nothing that I don't like tonight. I mean, I hate to be like boring in that way, but there's almost nothing that you're going to tell me. I definitely have a ticket on Jahmyr Gibbs over 85.5 total yards. That's at even money. I'm going to get more creative, I have no doubt, in the time before now, because I like Jamison Williams scoring a touchdown. I like DeAndre Hopkins scoring a touchdown. There's just not a lot. If Aiden Hutchinson was fully back, and I know he had a sack last week, that would give me some concern. but there's nothing about the Lions defense that suggests that they're going to have better answers. I do think the Ravens are going to try to go to the ground a little bit more because they weren't able to do that last week. The Browns were able to take Derrick Henry away early on. I think the Lions will try, but I don't think they present what it is that the Browns present up front. So I do think that this is a big Derrick Henry game. There's just nothing that I don't like offensively in this game. Maybe the one area I might stay away from, I know a lot of people are arguing that Mark Andrews is due after he hasn't done much of anything in the first 2 weeks of the season. I don't know that I buy that. I think that actually becomes more compelling once Isaiah Likely's back out on the field and maybe if Pat Ricard's back out there. But for now, I think I'd still stay away from Mark Andrews. Basically everything else, you're going to be hard-pressed for me to tell you there isn't an over or an anytime touchdown score or a prop that I wouldn't say, yeah, that works for me, because I just think it's going to be that type of game.
Well, how about this then? Why don't we look at the backup tight end for tonight only? And I know how big of a dud Andrews has been. I have him in one of my biggest fantasy leagues. How about Charlie Kolar does something tonight?
Why not? Why not? I'm all for it. Charlie Kolar is look, he's going to be more of a blocking option for the Ravens, but we have seen them in short yardage situations try to dial up things for him. Actually, you want to go even crazier. There is a player off the practice squad that they've called up 3 weeks in a row now in Zaire Mitchell-Payton, and they went to him in the end zone last week. He didn't catch the ball. I don't know what the numbers would possibly be for Zaire Mitchell-Payton. I haven't dug that deep, but they have been using him, and they want him in as a blocker in short yardage situations. So it might be worth just sort of digging in and seeing what the number might be, because he's going to be in those spots. They've been using him essentially as a fullback. He's really a tight end, and I think you could see the ball going his way again in the goal line situation.
I'm glad you brought up Hopkins. I love that guys are going out of their way to say that the old man still has it. He's not washed. He's playing well. His prop's only 20.5, and he's plus 350 to score a touchdown. How big is this acquisition?
He's been everything the Ravens needed. And the truth is, I understand the numbers still being low because he's not getting a lot of targets. I mean, they're just not going to him frequently. But when they go to him, he's catching the ball, and he's doing it spectacularly, and he's doing it on big plays. So that's where I would like the number hitting over, is because even if they only throw to them one time, they've thrown to him 4 times this season. But they've all 4 been catches, and they've been for about 25 yards per catch. So I love that number, because if they throw the ball to him one time, I think he's going to hit it. So I'm with you. DeAndre Hopkins has been exactly what the Ravens needed. My buddy Seren Petra in Kansas City, I remember him texting me, what are the Ravens doing? This isn't going to work. And I kept coming back to, they don't need DeAndre Hopkins to be their number. They've got that. Zay Flowers is their guy. And Rashad Bateman has been a very solid number 2. They need someone who is going to get lesser matchups and is going to take advantage of them. And DeAndre Hopkins has been, again, only with 4 targets, incredibly impactful through his first 2 games as a Baltimore Raven.
Very good. How about this now? A little bit long-term here with the Ravens. I don't want to get too nuts here after 3 weeks, but if the Ravens and the Buffalo Bills both stay relatively healthy for the entire year, Glenn, who else is coming out of the AFC? Aren't they the clear, by far and away, the best teams in that conference?
Yes, there's no question they're the best. And look, I'm probably still too dismissive of the Colts. I'm still not fully bought in on everything that I'm seeing through 3 weeks. They clearly should have lost the game to the Broncos at home, but I have to recognize there's something going on with them offensively. I guess the only other argument is the Chargers. I know everybody still has to respect the Chiefs, and I'm not going to be dismissive of the Chiefs in week 4, no matter what the Ravens do tonight. They have struggled there. I'm still going to be concerned about that matchup, but the Chargers do look legit to me, Mitch. They look like they are clicking on both sides of the ball. Jim Harbaugh seems to be bringing the best out of Justin Herbert. That throw for the tying touchdown yesterday is one of the best throws that I have seen any quarterback make, not only this season, but in recent memory. I'm not going to completely dismiss them, but they still have to face the Broncos again and the Chiefs again, and that'll be a Chiefs team that gets some pieces back. So the Ravens will have the benefit now. Like the Bengals will not be the problem that we thought they were going to be in the AFC North, so that should help them. It's going to be really difficult for them to get ahead of the Bills for the number 1 seed because of the head-to-head loss, but I do still think that's your 1-2, and I think I would be stunned if that wasn't your matchup in the AFC Championship, again, provided that the key pieces here, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, they stay healthy.
Quickly here, true or false? The Steelers absolutely stink.
They stink. You're 100% right about that. They stink. They're not good defensively. That's the crazy part to me.
No.
I get they were a little bit better yesterday, but they're not good defensively, which we've always associated with the Steelers, and they're not nearly good enough offensively to make up for it. Obviously, they had the special teams gaffe in the Seattle game in week 2, but no, they are not a threat to do anything other than exactly what they're going to do, which is win 9 games, because that's the way it works. Mike Tomlin's going to win 9 games. Yep. They're going to be in the playoffs, and they're going to be dismissed very quickly in the playoffs because they're not a very good football team.
Yeah, great stuff as always, my man. For your sake tonight, I hope it's like 41-34. So thank you for the time.
Man, that would be great news for me for betting. I was going to say, let's get it over with early so we can all go to bed. I'm in favor of that. I got to work tomorrow.
Fair enough. There you go.
Pauly, appreciate it.
Thanks, Glenn. There you go. Follow him on X. He's at Glenn Clark Radio, covers the Ravens in Baltimore for PressBox Online. He was on the Progressive Guest Line.
And a huge fan of season 2 of The Wire.
As am I. We talked about that briefly last week.
Football meets flavor with Vison and Omaha Steaks, the official sponsor of tailgating, built for the grill. Omaha Steaks smash burgers, pre-smashed, crafted from premium aged beef, go from freezer to bun in just 5 minutes with juicy, unforgettable flavor. And as a Vison exclusive, you get 16 free smash burgers with any order of $129 or more, plus 50% off site-wide. omahasteaks.com/Vison. Minimum purchase may apply. omahasteaks.com/Vison.
Still to come in the final 50 minutes of the program. We are going to get to, I don't want to overreact, but here after week 3 of the National Football League, maybe a little college there as well. In pocket plays, what we're betting for today. We'll recap the weekend as well. And up next, Pauly, I really think this dude is going to pull it off. Like, I'm there. I think you are as well. We'll talk about it next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
More movement over the weekend. I totally agree with it. For the American League MVP. Cal Raleigh did it again last night. He's got 58 jacks on the year. And even this morning, I made sure that I took a couple of screen grabs of it. DraftKings had Judge minus 150 to win the AL MVP. Cal Raleigh plus 110. They're now at minus 115 each way. Bet365 has Judge minus 130, Cal Raleigh even money. FanDuel has it, each guy minus 115.
Well, it happened. Everyone's paying attention. Everyone's saying common sense has got to prevail here. And then you get more home runs. They swept the Astros. They're going to win the division. They have the tiebreaker. They're 4 up with 6 to play. The Astros are 40-1 to win the division.
Oh.
And the Astros now close out on the road, and Seattle gets Colorado and the Dodgers at home.
Yep.
And just everything we talked about with Vasgersian and just the tools of ignorance and what it goes in, how demanding the position is, and helping out, calling the game, working with the pitching staff. And, you know, some people questioned it, right? But the Rosa saying 60 is a big number. Vasgersian saying 62, because then you're talking about Judge and that record, an American League record. And now I believe he has 16 total bases from breaking the all-time record for a catcher with that, which he has everything else now. So you're passing Mantle, Griffey. He's going to have almost every award imaginable. I mean, record imaginable right here if he continues to do it. And why not hit 2 or 3 more? So he gets the Rockies coming up.
Right. So when we talked about this last week, here was the whole key to it, right? It was the breakdown of WAR and WRC plus and some of the advanced metrics that Aaron Judge has on his side compared to Cal Raleigh blowing away the field in the American League. And yes, I can say that because he's up by 9 on Aaron Judge with home runs. He leads Judge by 16 RBIs, has more stolen bases, plays catcher as well, by the way. He's going to win the Gold Glove. His defensive WAR is plus 16.4 at Fangraphs. Aaron Judge minus 4.5. So when he was plus 475 the morning that we talked about it, and at the time last week, he was then like 3-1. We were saying, Pauly, we don't know how voters are going to look at this. Like, do they side with the WAR and the WRC plus and the OPS, or do they look at it and say, I can't ignore history. I have to recognize this guy is having now easily the best year ever by a catcher. And they're going to win their division, and I have to give it to that guy. And based on it being much closer to a coin flip last week. We were saying like that 3-1, that whatever was out there, you still had to take it at the time.
Yep.
Because you don't know. And now, here's the alarming thing to me.
Well, they've won 16 or 17 or something?
Yeah, blazing
ridiculous
hot.
what they're doing. Yeah.
So when we had a couple things here to talk about with Matt Vasgersian. We can get to the Trout stuff here in a second. But when we asked him about that last Friday, and Matt's obviously dialed in MLB Network. He's been around the sport forever. He said that people have already made up their mind.
Oh, no, that was crazy.
That they're going to vote for Aaron Judge.
Oh, that made me so mad.
Again, we need to find out who those people are and like sit them down in a room and say, do you like voting for the award? Do you really? Then why? Why did you make up your mind? You that has to be part of the rules, that you have to let it play out the entire year.
You can't have
that. Pisses me off, actually.
It does. That's outrageous. And that's not right.
And by the way,
too many games left. They're impactful games and moments.
Right. And oh, by the way, I'd say the same thing if voters said, I already made up my mind, I'm going to vote for Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, right.
Can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the NFL awards voter, Hub Arkish, years ago, who came out and said, I made up my mind in August. I'm not going to vote for Aaron Rodgers to win the MVP.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Blown away by that comment.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's sad and unfortunate.
I think he's going to win.
Yeah, you're right. And they're going to win the division for the first time since 2001. And this incredible run that they're on, 16-17, I believe, and 20-3, last 23 home games. Going to be a fun week. And just chaos over the weekend. I'll get to what's going on in the American League in 5 minutes.
Right.
The Reds are now the favorites to get the final wild card. The Mets are a mess. They had the best record in baseball a couple months ago. And now they lose 2 out of 3 to the Nats. The Mets are plus 150 just to make the playoffs. They go Cubs, Marlins to close on the road. Cincinnati, who has the tiebreaker. I believe they have the tiebreaker over the Mets. Yeah. They get the Pirates at home, who are awful on the road. Well, it's green against Skeens. And then they close with the Brewers, who have nothing to play for.
Right. They might have the 1 seed to play for.
They got the division. They got the tiebreaker. I think they're 4 up with 6 left. They have the tiebreaker on the Phillies.
Right.
So that's that. And Arizona's 9-1. They're a game back with the tie. I think they have the tiebreaker. That shows you how crazy their schedule is. Because now they get Ohtani, Snell, and Yamamoto, and then they close with the Padres.
Well, and that's the thing,
They're
right?
a game back, but they're 9-1.
You just mentioned it. And we've said this 1,000 times. That's the team, when the regular season is done with and they're not going to get a bye, they're going to have to look in the mirror every night and say, how the hell did we not win the division? That's the Padres.
Right there for it. Yep, it was right there for them. Couldn't do it. Lose to the White Sox, lose 2 out of 3 at home to this team. Cease blows up in that game. Yep. But the close for the Diamondbacks is an all-timer. You go Ohtani, Snell, Yamamoto, King, Pivetta, and it's somebody else. Oh, they closed the season.
Well, if the Guardians can do this, the Diamondbacks can maybe do that as well.
Right. So the Matt Vasgersian call, which I just think from what he brings with stats and analysis and props, one of the best guests in the history of the show. The Alonso cashed in the second at bat, and then the Trout breakdown, which you said it during the break. There were 47,000 people there. And then how he broke it down beautifully, his first at bat, 2-0 count. Here comes the cookie. And he hit it 408, but to dead center. And then he hit another one that would have been out of like 8 parks.
Yeah. So the first one, I think, was out of 8. The second one was out of 7 ballparks overall, both to dead center. He hit. So when Matt came on and gave that breakdown, and he said, tonight's the night, he's going to hit home run number 400. And the numbers were just moving in real time, right? The first home run of the game, first plate appearance, his home run for the game overall. Mike Trout's first 2 at-bats, the ball traveled more than 800 feet. And it resulted in 0 home runs. Yeah. I texted him at the end of the game, and I said, you were going straight to the VSiN Hall of Fame.
Yes.
That's what was on the line.
That's right.
So when that happened... And look, the Saturday show, we're not on the air at that time. To me, it was obvious. I'm like, I'm betting him every game in Colorado because it's going like he was onto something here, right?
I believe. I believe that they knew the fans were coming to the park for one reason. You're not going to watch 112 lost garbage. That it was, hey, we're going to fall behind you 2-0, 3-1, and it's cookie time.
We're going to go watch home run number 400.
Yeah, I'm going to give you every opportunity here. We've done a great job to the sport. We love you. I want to see you do it. And we have nothing to play for. It happened to Cal Ripken. Wainwright did it in an all-star game to Jeter. I just think it's okay. And it was 3-1 count, and here you go. Deposit that sucker.
485 feet. You can actually bet who's going to hit the longest home run of the day. That was another angle I never thought of.
Yeah, Will Hill, that's right. What was that?
I didn't.
See that? Yes.
Yeah, it came to my mind right now.
I forgot
Smart.
about that.
Good job, Mitch.
Yeah.
But he was plus 285 at some spots to hit a home run on Saturday. And if that was a loser, I was going to come back and bet it again on Sunday.
Yeah.
After his breakdown, Paul.
Made a change with found something in his swing. Locked in, dialed in, got to do it, got to make it happen. And then, bam, hit that thing way out.
Yep.
Friday would have been all-timer.
One more thing.
Of course, he hits at the dead center.
I know. Real quick in the American League, I'm looking at all the projections right now in Fangraphs. They're basically saying Scooble's going to win the Cy Young right now.
Okay.
I mean, Crochet has him by a bunch of wins. He's got him by a bunch of Ks. The ERA's right behind him. Red Sox make the playoffs. Tigers miss. Are we sure voters are going to give it to Scooble? Crochet's 18-1 right now. I bet some on him last week at 12-1. Again, kind of way closer to a coin flip, in my opinion, with voters. But it's now 18-1 on that.
Okay. It helped that they did it on Sunday night, too, I think, what happened with Cal Raleigh.
I agree.
Right now, you can save 40% on our football season special. Follow the money promo code, FTM, VSiN Pro Access, everything we do across every sport through the Super Bowl. The leaderboard with the best bets, the DK, Circa betting splits, the proven betting systems, Pro Tools, VSiN.com, 24/7 video, replays, live breakdowns. Lock it in. 40% off today, promo code FTM, VSiN.com/subscribe. Follow the money code. Let's go get it. FTM. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends. VSiN.com/subscribe. What an offer.
Isn't it great to have football back in the NFL? I mean, yesterday, to close up shop in the 1 o'clock window games, Eastern time, the final 30 to 45 minutes all at the same time. It's just like, it's a never-ending adrenaline rush that will not end until the games are finally over with.
Witching Hour always delivers, too. 7 games decided in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The back and forth, the special team stuff.
It almost has a March Madness feel to it, but like every single Sunday.
Yeah.
For the regular season. God, I could not get over that stretch of games. The block kicks yesterday.
I like what Jared Carabas tweeted, too. You watch baseball every day, you'll still see something new. What that guy did with the Nationals bounces off his foot.
Yep. They are not one of the best 2 or 3 teams in the NFL. I don't want to overreact, but is next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Often imitated, never duplicated. At certain times, it's time for I don't want to overreact, but I think Mitch will get out a kick out of this one first. I don't want to overreact, but the books are overreacting to Jonathan Taylor, Offensive Player of the Year. He can't go from 30-1 to 5-1 in one game.
No, I would agree.
How can that happen?
Yeah.
Because the Titans had several guys out, Sweat didn't play, and he ran for 102 yards. Now, the touchdowns were great, but you can't go from 30-1 to 5-1 at BetMGM to an Offensive Player of the Year.
No, in fact, I would highly encourage books to put him back up to 10, 12, 14-1 and that way I can maybe take a slice of it.
Yeah. But 18, 17-1 to 5-1 after what he did, I find that insane. What happened? I don't want to overreact, but Dayball with his press conference today, what Mitch said with someone who was at the game, you watched the game, you could hear a pin drop, the fan base furious. It's enough already. You got to make a quarterback change and stop bringing him in and just running that. He'll run or do the read option to Scatterboo, and that's it. And then he comes out of the game. And then Wilson comes back in, and they're booing him because they don't like him and don't want to see him. And he missed several guys that were wide open. The slow start again. They've had one good year in the last 8. That's the 7th time they've been held to 10 points or fewer in the last 2 years.
Twice already this year.
That's right. And you also look what's happened around the league. Indiana Jones is lighting up with the Colts. Barkley won a Super Bowl last year and ran for 2,000 yards, and you can get out of your own way, and there were no holes for him. And the creativity, no imagination, nothing to speak of. Embrace the future. Put the kid in there. It's enough already. At least make the fans happy.
Yep.
I don't want to overreact, but is this going to be an adventure every week with the kicking, or was it a one-off? I mean, we had the 10-minute span wars block. It seems like it's an alarming number of blocked punts already. But the blocked field goal stretch that we had and what happened for a 5-minute span in several games.
I'll say that was a one-off.
You think so?
Yeah, because we just got done talking about our field goals too easy.
Yes, I know.
Right?
Yes. And now it's a block fest.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to overreact, but the Eagles right now are not the second or the third best team in the NFL. They still have to prove it to me a lot because, maybe they found something in the second half when they were down big the entire time. But again, I will remind you, the Rams were leading the game 26-7 in the third quarter. Their win probability was like 95% plus, and they settled for a lot of field goals. Here were the Eagles' drives in the game. 1st and 10 at the Philly 37, field goal. 1st and goal at the Philly 6, field goal. 1st and 10 at the Philly 22, field goal. 1st and 10, Philly 36, field goal. 2nd and 4 at midfield, punt. 2nd and 4 at the Philly 49 and 3rd and 1 at the Philly 46. Turnover on downs. 1st and 10 at the Philly 26. Blocked field goal on 4th and 2. Like, that was total destruction. There was a reason why. And it's a tough city, I get that, right? But there's a reason why those fans were booing the champs in the second half of that game. They were getting smoked by the team that gave them the biggest fits in the playoffs last year. So, can they still beat? Yes. Right now, the Rams want that game back. All 3-0 NFC teams are misleading, like the Eagles. The Niners, 3-0, a ton of injuries. How do they win that game after that safety and they're trailing 15-13 Cardinals ball?
Big price in play, and they did it.
And Tampa Bay, again, more injuries every week than like any team in the league. They are 3-0. They've won all 3 combined by 6 points. I don't want to overreact. Touched on this with Glenn Clark earlier this hour. It will be a massive upset if the Bills or the Ravens don't win the AFC. Again, barring injury, that gets baked into this, obviously.
Oh, you're really dismissing the Chargers.
No, I like the Chargers. And in fact, I have more on Herbert here coming up in a second. Look, the Colts have been damn impressive. And what if the Colts go to L.A. and beat the Rams this weekend? They're only a 3.5-point dog.
Yep, hello.
Right, but to me, Pauly, and we'll find out tonight, I mean, maybe the Lions beat the Ravens. I don't know. But these teams have to take steps eventually. I do not fear the Chiefs at all. I know they're getting Rice and Worthy back at some point. They're not close to Baltimore or Buffalo.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Yep, I'm with you. No, that's right. I have one more. I'm talking about a season now. I don't want to overreact, but we are witnessing, and it's going to happen, the biggest collapse in sports history. On July 9th, the Guardians were 15.5 games out. 17 days ago, Detroit had an 11-game lead. Cleveland's won 15 of 17. Detroit's lost 9 of 10. They've had sole possession of first place for 151 consecutive days. If Cleveland gets one in this series coming up, they have the tiebreaker. And then Detroit has to go to Fenway. And Boston might need it like blood. Cleveland is going to do this and win the division. And the Detroit Tigers, who had this has never happened in baseball. No team has ever blown a double-digit lead in September. 17 days ago, they had an 11-game lead. Cleveland is going to win the division.
Well, let's ask the audience. Is there a comp to this in any sport? FTM at vsin.com, on X at vsin live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. There was, I want to say, Phillip Rivers on the Chargers one year. Remember that stretch where they could not lose games in December?
Yeah.
I think
5 back of the Broncos or something?
I think they were 4 back entering December.
They both had to win out, one lose out, one win out.
And that's exactly what happened. And the Chargers, I think, won it with...
Rivers beat Jay Cutler in a primetime game.
Were they like 8-7-1? They have a tie or something like that?
Yeah, he was talking trash to Cutler and yelling at the bench.
That's right.
Yeah.
What else do you have
Sounds
out there?
about right. It's a good one.
And I'll expand on that. Again, I don't want to overreact, but the run for this current Chiefs team is over. It's over. They're not a good football team. The run is dead for Dabo Swinney at Clemson. all this hype coming into the season,
Oh, boy.
all this,
Season's over.
80% of the production back.
Yep. Season's over. They got a lot of people, too.
Put it this way.
Playoff, win the conference, all of it. It's, oh, boy. But that's, again, you always have a couple stink bombs in that preseason top 10.
And that's put it this way. I had the Wisconsin Badgers, my childhood team growing up in that area. I went to broadcasting school in Madison. Loved that football program. If they fire Fickle and said, you know what, we're going to pay Dabo Swinney, I would never watch a team ever again until he's gone. There's no way. That's how bad. That's how much I dislike that guy as a head coach. I cannot believe Jacksonville took a cornerback number 2 in the draft. What is going on with Travis Hunter? Again, if you look overall, Mike Clay, ESPN, with a terrific tweet about this. Week 1, 8 offensive targets. He played 10% of snaps on defense. Week 2, 8 targets down to 6. 10% of snaps on defense up to 60%. And yesterday, 2 targets on offense, 69% on defense. What are they doing here? What's the game plan?
Yep.
You're not going to take a cornerback number 2 overall in the draft.
I'm not allowed to argue, but I agree. Yep.
Maybe look at him for a defensive rookie of the year.
Very good.
And I don't want to overreact, but Justin Herbert will be in the MVP conversation the entire year.
Damn right.
I will give you some upcoming teams defensively with their passing numbers that he has on the schedule. Now, they're not all like simple teams on paper. He gets some tough challenges, obviously, but the Giants, they allow 0.3 EPA passing per play. That is the 6th worst. Washington, 7.1 yards per attempt, tied for 8th worst. Miami, forget about it. They're rock bottom in almost every passing metric. The Colts in Minnesota, like I said, very tough. Pittsburgh, Las Vegas, Dallas are all later in the year, and those defenses are at or near the bottom of the league. And you have to love how much they're letting them sling it.
Yep.
And I don't want to overreact. One non-sports betting thing here. There's no way one battle after another can be this good, right?
It's a crazy trailer.
Well, it looks...
DiCaprio's a lunatic in it.
It looks fantastic, but now they're actually, like, in the trailer, the previews, it's one of the best movies of all time. Like the Oscar buzz that this movie is generating right now. I'm super excited to watch it. But all I'm saying is that I think they're kind of overhyping this movie going into it. Anyway, that's what we have for I Don't Want to Overreact But today.
Let me read it to you. It's based on the book. The story is set in California in '84, the year of Ronald Reagan's re-election. After a scene in which a former hippie drives through a window, something he's required to do to keep receiving mentally disability checks, the action of the novel opens with a federal agent and his daughter coming out of their house. They're hiding, the drug enforcement. But this is crazy how it sounds. And then just what the shooting and the machine guns and everything.
Yep.
What is going on. The war on drugs. And this is, it sounds insanity what this sounds like.
I will definitely watch it, but...
Who's saying that? Numerous people are saying that?
It was one of the previews that came on TV the other day.
Oh, my God.
I was like, oh, here we go now.
Well.
Right?
Well, either way, I'm excited.
You know what that is? That's the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
The 85 Bears coming out of your mouth. One of their players said this past week we're going to go undefeated.
I know. And immediately lose. The game will
the writing was on the wall.
The game will humble you. You can't do that. They're 2-0.
Quicker than the Iron Sheik.
Yes.
In-pocket plays coming up here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I'll bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right. Rough week. We have been hot, especially with the 6 to 1 with Monday Night Football with Gordon.
Ollie.
Thursday Night Football, with Ollie Gordon, anytime touchdown. Bad read with the Rams-Eagles game under. I thought it'd be a lower scoring game, and the Eagles figured out their offense in the second half. Can't believe what the Rams were able to just go up and down the field the whole game.
I know it.
Colts, ice cream. Blew out the Titans, winner. Jonathan Taylor to have 100 yards rushing, plus 120, winner. Big win for Arizona State against Baylor, no good. TCU first half, winner. Mike Trout over 1.5 total bases. Right church, wrong pew. He goes deep the next night. I had to take it with the Giants. Kershaw only went 4 innings. And then they got to Robbie Ray, and they had a nice lead for him.
Did you watch that game?
Yeah, of course, yes. I'm like, Robbie Ray can't be plus 150 here when the Giants need the game. And
In the first inning, I thought to myself, God, there's a chance here that he's going to be like so revved up and emotional that it's not going to go well.
Oh, what a reaction.
And
Reception, yes.
Oh, it was great. But like the outs prop and stuff like that.
Yeah, plus money. Good cash.
I know.
Well, he walked a lot of people. Good point, because he wouldn't have his control.
Not
the
at
strikeout
all. No.
prop went over.
Yeah, but the walks were all there. The high pitch count, yep.
And again, if you're going to be wrong, do it in spectacular fashion. The Astros have made the playoffs 9 years in a row. And they always win games like this. But the Mariners kicked their ass and got the broom out. The Astros were $1.20 to win the series. And for the first time since 2001, Seattle's going to win the division. If you think there's a choke job coming, Houston's 40-1 to do it. Seattle essentially 4 up with 6 to play. And this one I couldn't believe. Guardians plus 120 to win the series. It was a 4-game set. They were underdogs in the first 3 games of the series. I think were they dogs in all 4? The Twins have the worst record in the American League since the All-Star break. These guys had won 15 of 16. And no problem. They shut them out in both games of the doubleheader.
That was a great find by you, yeah.
It was 8-0 and 6. I'm like, wow, this is the most ridiculous price I've ever seen. Okay, to the new stuff. Well, going back to the well with this. The Brewers clinched the division yesterday. So now, having a good time. It's essentially a 4-game lead with 6 to play over the Phillies for the 1 seed. They got it. Padres against the Brewers, off the celebration, off the clinch, and the travel. Padres get them tonight. Reds, $1.30 to make the playoffs. Have the tiebreaker over the reeling Mets. Host the Pirates and the Brewers to close the season. What am I missing here? Mets just lost 2 out of 3 at home to the Nationals, and the comments after the game, oh boy, not good. Red Sox to miss 6-1. Huge series starts tomorrow in Toronto. Toronto still has to win to get the division. Then they play Detroit. How big could that series be? What was the price on the Tigers to miss the playoffs?
Well, I've seen this out that they were minus 10,000 or higher to win their division.
I got to look at the tiebreakers there. Or what could happen? Detroit could miss the playoffs. And go Gibbs. It's very popular. I'll go Gibbs over receiving yards tonight. 28.5. It's come up a little bit, but that's what it is now against the Ravens. Good luck, everyone. Good times.
All right, a lot of bets to recap here as well. The 49ers money line. How about that? Got there.
You could have grabbed.
Fortunate to come home.
When the news came down, take the 3 and then go money line.
Yep. The field goal kicker props. Texans, no good.
Oh, tough one.
Fairbairn missed one. Boswell did he even have an attempt?
There was nothing.
I think he had an attempt.
No, nothing.
No touchdown scored by Chase or Jefferson. And I was on Utah. -3 against Texas Tech. Boy, that was a bloodbath. They got absolutely smoked. Boot Scootin' Tootin', the rookie running back. Did you see this, by the way, where it ended? Houston's been terrible against the run. Jacksonville, #1 on the ground.
I thought that won.
He had 6 carries.
Yeah?
At only 6 carries, 21 yards. So that was a sharp number.
Oh.
And it lost. Breece Hall did go under 58.5 rushing yards. I can't wait to see what they make Saquon Barkley this week against Tampa. Devontae Adams was no good, over 16.5 with him as well. The Thornton prop came in again for the Raiders. Over 15.5.
Did he get there?
Catch. Got there. So that was a winner.
How about Thornton for Kansas City?
Well, that one, yeah, another guy to watch, right? Because I said this on the Sunday morning show. On Saturday, before the news came out about Worthy but we all thought he was going to miss anyway, Thornton was 8.5. So I'm like, I have to bet that number. It went up to like 28.5. Boy, do they like to go deep to him as well. Both guys.
With Tracy out now, the Giants also like to dump it off and give it to Scadaboo. They don't have a lot of choices. He should be the guy anyways. The problem is they're not going to win any games, but they put Dart in there now and feed Scadaboo.
Yep. So for tonight, I'm on the Ravens -4. I bet this earlier in the morning, -115. Played that here at Circa, put it on the vsin.com picks page. Now, money on the Brewers.
Get out of here.
So I'm splitting.
It is Freddie Peralta.
I'm splitting two bets here, Pauly.
How long would you throw him?
5?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
But I'm going to go because of the clincher here, right? Still important games here for San Diego. I'll go half unit Padres money line -104. Yeah, small bets here. And then same thing, Padres first 5 -110.
I got the number. Skubal at Cleveland tomorrow and Gavin Williams. They just beat him, although the bullpen was involved. What do you would make Skubal on the road tomorrow in Cleveland?
Well, he was just $2, so I'll say he's $1.75.
He's 160.
Okay.
15-2 run against the losers of 9 of 10. G-Bank, built with sports bettors in mind. Right now, earn a $50 cashback reward bonus once you're approved and your account's open with the G-Bank Visa Signature Card. Most credit cards treat sports books and gaming transactions as cash advances, even when it's your own money. G-Bank treats them as regular purchases. No cash advance fees. You save up to 3 to 5% on every deposit. You'll earn 1% cash back on all eligible sports books and gaming transactions. 2% cash back on everything else you buy. Apply now. vsin.com/Gbank. vsin.com/Gbank.
Luke, do we have a minute here to fire up the Cam Scadaboo audio? Okay. We'll get that here for you because tomorrow morning, Jonathan Von Tobel and I are going to record our second episode here of a new podcast under the VSiN network of podcasts. It's called Pod to the Futures. You could subscribe to it. If you want to like it, give it 5 stars. That would be greatly appreciated. This was one of the talking points. So it's only futures. That's it, right? So this was one of the guys that we talked about, and we kind of set the foundation of this is who we have so far. This is who we were thinking about adding. And then I think every week we're also going to do, like, if you don't have anybody in this market, here's maybe one guy to look at. Here's the guy that we talked about for Offensive Rookie of the Year in the NFL. Okay, I cut the list from 4 to 3. Last guy here. I think this dude is worth a bet if nobody has anything going right now in Offensive Rookie of the Year. We saw the timeshare tilt in his favor in week number 2. I already have a ticket out him at, I believe, 80-1. But what about Cam Scadaboo? Scored in week 2 against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He's getting more snaps now, right? He's getting more carries. He's also a really good receiver. He's going to be the goal line back because he's such a battery ram. 100-1 now. And that's to go back to what you said about Cam Ward. Can he really win Offensive Rookie of the Year on a 6-win Tennessee Titan team? I would think not. Can Cam Scadaboo actually win the award on a 5 or 6-win Giants team? Again, going back to playing in New York, I think yes. He is down to 13-1 today.
Come on.
You have him as well.
Gave him on. Yeah, my Giants source. Yeah, he was the talk of camp. And he's just a battering ram. That whole market is way off. You can't have Genty and Ward at those. Who would bet that?
I can't, Paul. There's no way.
They're not going to win games. He's not playing well. He's going to go through the struggles with the rookie quarterback. And the Raiders' offensive line's atrocious. They don't give Genty any holes.
Totally agree.
There's no reason that you can't bet those guys.
And the way Cam looked last night with the injury to Tracy, again, that's a team there. If they win 5 or 6 games playing in New York, and that guy pops as a number 1 back, I think he can win the award. Plus, did you see how good of a receiver he is again last night?
Yeah.
He's got to be he led the Giants in every category across the board last night. Targets, receptions, yards, rushing, the whole thing. Touchdown.
He's 22 at DraftKings.
22, huh?
McMillan plus 750. Warren Egbuka, the favorite, rightfully so. He's plus 370.
Well, Egbuka was awesome yesterday. And by the way, he got robbed on that one catch on the sideline. Again, I thought that was definitely a catch.
I thought he had it too. The one-hand job?
Yeah, that would have put him over 100 yards in the game.
Yeah.
But he has to be the short shot for sure. And you're right.
One-hand catch, I meant. Yeah. Did you hear that? I know. I can't.
Now I heard it. Yeah, in my head.
Sorry about that.
But Genty and Ward, anything below 10-1, hard pass.
Yeah.
No way.
Can't believe it. And Hampton, they're not much of a running game. I mean, they don't even use him that much. He was okay last night.
We're sticking around for another half an hour. Humans, Tim Murray will join us. We'll talk primetime here, Ravens, Lions, much more of it coming up.